Okay, and hit that. So that should be what I need to do. Yes? Alright. Okay, so it's been a little while since I last made one of these, mostly because what I wanted to make this on was specifically about doing mix-ups in Marvel vs. Capcom 2. And as you can imagine, it's not the easiest thing in the world to come up with mix-ups on your own when playing a 20-year-old game that isn't, do an overhead or do a low. So for the most part, I've been either sifting around YouTube or trying to come up with things on my own. And to be quite honest with you, it's not been easy to get everything where I wanted it to be or have an ease of execution with the things that I wanted to practice. So first things first, let's get block off. So something like that to start things off is what I've learned this very early on, but executing it has been very difficult due to the fact that Cyclops hits the opponent so far away. I would love to actually connect this with Kinetic Card and from there do a super. Unfortunately, due to the fact that how these two moves work along with Cajun Strike, it's not the easiest thing in the world, but let me try something in the moment. Nope. Okay. Well, in any case, usually when I end up trying to find Gambit mix, Cyclops comes in the clutch in order for me to find said mix, due to the fact that how fast his assist comes out. Unfortunately, with that being said, there's not much that I can immediately show you due to the fact that a lot of it is very difficult to do. And in the case of playing these old games, you have to just know certain things. Like, for example, that. So, despite what it seems, I'm actually calling Cyclops at the final hit of where I'm hitting heavy. Because if I call him any earlier, for whatever reason, the game just doesn't push Gambit back. I don't know why. But in addition to that, because of how fast this game is, I want to have mix-up that's very easy to perform and something that I don't have to think about in the long run. Unfortunately, most of the stuff I came up with, I do have to think about, which is going to require me to run either run casual matches or run matches against the AI so that I can get comfortable with like putting it into like layer 2 thinking or something along the lines of that. Now, with that being said, I also didn't, when I say what I came up with, not a lot of this was me just looking at the game and saying, oh, okay, blah, blah, blah. A lot of this was stemmed from a video called Tricks of the Trade with Gambit, so that I could understand what exactly this is, because a lot of things about this game is very old. Even then, I couldn't quite pull it off. So like that, and I took the corner. That's not a concept that, as a modern fighting game player, that I'm used to. That is how you can very easily take the corner and things of that nature. So, in a lot of cases, I don't. What's the word I'm trying to use? In a lot of cases, I don't have the mindset to grind out how mix-ups work in this game, because mix-ups are very, you can't, from what I've played thus far, you can't really mix someone up while they're blocking, because at some point they're going to call their DP assist to get you off them, which is, it is what it is. So I have to mix them up while I'm hitting them, and in order to hit them, I have to do weird routes that I'm not used to doing. So with that also being said, I was really conflicted about Dr. Doom, because this is primarily an assist I use for combos, particularly just this, if I didn't drop it. So that's a really good combo. Did 71 damage. I'm pretty sure Cyclops without any assist just does that normally. Close enough. But because of, well, not only that, Doom is also more or less a just grounded assist. That is probably the best variation of rock that I've ever seen. But because he doesn't have immediate synergy with Gambit like Cyclops does, I did consider dropping Doom until I decided to actually make use of his assist mid-combo. And as you can see, using him in the corner after the launcher, for whatever reason, side swaps you. This is what I meant by saying that I don't have quite the mentality to come up with mix-ups in this game, because why? This doesn't happen in modern anime fighting, anime tag fighters. Matter of fact, it doesn't even happen in like Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, I think. But stuff like this is not something that I would just think, oh yeah, that would work. In addition, something like that, that's not as good as a mix-up, probably. But people like to mash buttons, so it might be pretty good. Alternatively, you can go for a throw reset. Or, oops. Or you can side swap them at the very end of that thing. It's, like I said, it's not the easiest thing in the world to come up with mix-ups on your own when playing a 20-year-old game, but you can manage to do that. With that being said, for the other two, I'm very hesitant to do all their mix-ups, particularly Dr. Doom. So, stuff I found have been like this. No. So something like that is what I've seen some old footage of Doom players doing. I'm very hesitant to do that because this is not a game that you can discourage people from mashing on hit. In a lot of cases, what ends up happening is someone is mashing throw, which probably I can get away with trying to do some kind of mix-up from there, because for whatever reason, throw, either certain mix-ups are just out of throw range, or you can't throw out of hit stun. I'm not sure which. But with that being said, like Doom in particular, I'm not doing that fast enough. So something like this to say same side, and this to do cross up, this can be interacted on. Like it looks deceitful, it looks deceptive. If I were to control Gambit and start mashing, I could actually get out of this very easily. And so because of that, I don't know really where to go with Doom, unfortunately. Cyclops has like one way to do it. I kind of dropped that combo in the middle of it. But the idea is to, how do you say it? The idea is to raise the opponent above your head and use Cyclops' double jump to go on the other side, so that when they're falling, you can still hit them with the cross up and hard knock them down into the floor, or you can jump same side to you know, mix them up. Unfortunately, because Cyclops is Cyclops and he doesn't really have many ways to open a person up aside from his like command throws, which have to be activated at close to point blank. You can't see it right now, but I'm actually doing the command throw. The unfortunate thing is, oh, I wasn't doing it there. How do you say, like, I'm doing the command throw right now, but it has no whiff animation. So it's literally it's frame 1 and it's point blank, which is great, but it sucks because command throws are normally supposed to hit from longer ranges and things of that nature. With that being said, in the corner it's a lot better, but because of how close I have to be, not exactly something that I would do often. But in that case, I would also just have to start practicing it. Unfortunately, they made his other command throw a charge move. I don't know why, but early fighting games, I guess. You can combo off of it in the corner, but just the fact that it's a charge move by itself throws me off. It undoubtedly has more range than his other one. Has more range than this one, but because of how awkward it is and because of the nature of this game being so fast and frantic, I haven't I need to create setups for it because just doing it when I think my opponent's just gonna hold down back doesn't oftentimes work out the best for the input in my personal testing. So what else is there to talk about in this video? Yes. Okay, so another thing I wanted to talk about was the fact that Gambit's kind of an all-arounder. I've found he can zone, he can or rather he has pretty good range thanks to buttons like his heavy punch. He's got great damage, and Cajun Strike and Cajun Escape often facilitates some kind of cross-up thing going on. Helps that Cajun Strike. Sorry, I blanked out there for a second. Cajun Strike is also plus on block, so it is still my turn, even if the opponent guesses right. And with the added benefit of Doom Rocks, Cajun Strike can also now just force the opponent to eat a lot of chip. That's really good. The unfortunate thing about all of this is that I don't particularly feel that Gambit excels at any one particular thing. He just does everything that you could ask of him, and he does it pretty well. But it's just a case where I'm thinking, is there a character that can do a mix-up? Well, yes, there is, and his name is Magneto. But is there another character that can do mix-up better than this character? And at that, could Gambit instead play like a mid-roll? Because something that I've rarely explored with this character, that's not Gambit. Something that I've rarely explored with this character is that assist is really good and can facilitate a lot of setups and a lot of, a lot of extensions that, give characters more damage. Honestly, not really sure where to go with the game from here, because at this point it's just playing a lot more, testing a lot more stuff, and trying to figure things out. Oh, and unfortunately, something that I figured out about this game, so something I wanted to mention about Cyclops' Cyclops' whole mix-up thing is that it only works at super jump height. If you do it at normal jump height, you won't get light kick. I'm not entirely sure why the design of the game is like this. It just is. On that note, too, something else that I didn't mention was assist tag-in mix-ups. From what I've seen, this is the most effective mix-up, is just doing the cross-under. Alternatively, you can go for guard breaks. Unfortunately, once again, trying to figure out how to do a type of guard break in this game by myself is not the easiest thing in the world. Oftentimes, the answer is do like heavy punch, call Cyclops assist, and then rising button or delayed ground button into something. That's generally the answer, but a lot of times something like that will often suffice for just a general mix-up. And you know this to be true because you also see players doing this in UMVC 3. But yeah, Unfortunately, I kind of wish I had more to like go over, but it's been somewhat difficult to like not like just parse what the capabilities that I have in this game due to the fact that, it's an old game. With that being said, this video went on for a little longer than I anticipated, so I thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Until then.